next, I'm pleased to introduce our next speaker, Eugene Ho, CTO and co-founder Dayta AI. And today, Eugene will share with us revolutionize retail analytics, improve store performance, and customer experience with AI. Please welcome Eugene.
Testing. Right. Great. So it's my honor to be here. I'm Eugene Ho, co-founder and CTO of Dayta AI. So who are we? We are here to revolutionize retail analytics for all of you. It's not for us, but it's for you. Store owners, store operators, fashion retailers, like data is all yours and we want to help you guys utilize that. So over the past 6 years, we've already successfully helped over 20 shopping malls around the world, as well as like more than 750 retail stores to use their retail analytics data better and to improve their store efficiency or their sales strategy. So we are also the Forbes Asia 100 to watch like 2 years ago, but like most importantly, we are backed by a lot of great parties such as AWS, which is our core technology partner that supports our operation and how we help like different retailers to improve their data. So like let's jump straight into the point. I'm sure like all of you definitely have certain retail networks or experience, and you'll definitely understand what the screenshots here are doing. So for online like e-commerce, like the first thing that pops up when you talk about retail analytics or data analytics, Google Analytics is definitely on the top of the list. It gives you so many data, like down to each person browsing your website, which page did they click, which page did they stop, and the bounce rate, etc. You should be very familiarized with this, so as like other softwares, be it whatever platform you use for your e-commerce platform. But for offline, like imagine you're a retail store and you're operating like every day throughout the week. But do you actually know how many people actually enter your store or like browse through which shelves, which products that you put there, just as your online store? So there are existing technologies that help you do it, but it either requires you to have extra hardware installed, extra cameras installed, or like as old-fashioned as this is, you can have someone to do a clicker for you, just to click the number, how many people passed by, etc. So what we've brought here today is our flagship product, Cyclops. It's AI's video analytics software that helps you to use AI without any human resource or anything. Just use artificial intelligence and do all the analytics automatically for you. So how we actually do this is we utilize everything existing in your store. Just two things. It's basically cameras as well as the internet connection, which exists in 99%, if not all, stores around the world, like in the modern age. So what we do is we utilize the data we capture from the CCTV. We use our proprietary analytics algorithms to help you analyze all the data. And we present it to you with just one dashboard. It's simple to use, easy to understand, and you can have some actionable insights right away. So apart from the easiness of like how you can install everything, we're also very accurate compared to a lot of state-of-the-art algorithms that are available in the public or like AI companies. We are much more fine-tuned towards the retail sector. We use training data that comes from the retail space to analyze the retail space. And that's why we get a much more comprehensive view as well as a much more accurate AI algorithm that helps you to understand your data better. So apart from accuracy, one of our highest priority is actually the privacy, because we know data privacy is very sensitive, especially in GDPR regions or anywhere with like proper data governance. So we are ISO certified, and we guarantee you all the data is well protected and there will be no privacy intrusion. So it's safe to use our software anywhere in the world. Okay, I'm sure you guys pretty much understood what we're doing, but let me bring to you more use cases and case studies. So one of the few pain points right now in the retail space, not just fashion retail, but anywhere in retail, with the recent economy, is that we know the cost is high, and we know it's important to be efficient, no matter it's in operation, the store, and the whole business. So one of the things that we can help you to pinpoint where the inefficiencies are is to help you with your staff rostering, because we can help you about on understanding how the visitor behavior is, as well as the staff operation efficiency is. And by improving the staff roster, it's actually giving much better results in most of our clients for their operation efficiency. And this, in return, also lower the customer dissatisfaction due to the insufficient staff roster, or when they are looking for staffs, but the staff is actually not there, etc. These cases actually make customers turn to your competitors instead, so you want to avoid that at all costs. So introducing one of our new features that helps you to do that is the uniform recognition. As long as your staffs wear some kind of uniform or your own fashion brands, a fashion style, we can help you to identify your staff's efficiencies and how are they engaging with the customers. So it also comes with a real-time alert and automations that help you to real-time monitor how the store is actually going on, and if the number of visitors reaches a certain threshold, we can alert you right away so that you can contact the store manager and your staffs to follow up with appropriate actions or basically any follow-up measures. And this also helps frontline operations to maintain the efficiency, because imagine you're a big store and let's say this expo, you probably don't know what's happening on the other side, right? So with all these kind of real-time alerts, it actually gives the premises owner or operator a much better understanding from a top-down level point of view, because sometimes premises are too huge for one or two person or operation to understand all at once. And we are here to help you out on this. So by using us, we have proven with numerous clients that we can actually save cost by just analyzing their data and help them with their staff rostering. So first of all is staff rostering. For a lot of stores, it seems to be a once-for-all thing. The staff roster is probably the same throughout the day or throughout the week, but for visitors pattern, it's actually not that. And we help you align the two things to make sure during peak hours you have enough staffs, and during the non-peak hours you actually save costs. So this is very important, because this also helps with staff productivity. Imagine if the roster is insufficient and say 5 staffs have to do the workload for 10 staffs. It's actually very discouraging, and it also hurts the overall staff productivity. So we want to make sure when there's the peak hour or when there is demand, you have sufficient staff to make sure the operation is all right. And apart from operations efficiency, customer retention is also one of the results that you get from this. It's not just cost saving, but you also save your revenue in the long run, because with proper customer retention, your business can only be sustainable by then. Otherwise, lost customers is lost for good. Okay, so some of our actual case studies here. What Cyclops gives you, not just from the staff data, visit data, but we have different dimensions of layers of data that we can provide. First of all is the demographics. It's just how Google Analytics gives you. We can tell you what the shopper groups are based on their age, based on their gender. We can help you analyze if you're targeting the right group to your store or not. This is very important because we basically by working with our clients, we know that 90% of the traffic is actually irrelevant. This is a very simple, straightforward number. Only 1 out of 10 is probably your target customers. And if you can increase that from 1 out of 10 to 2 out of 10, that's already doubling your potential revenue. So the shopper groups is actually always top of our list when we recommend what actions to be taken for our partners or clients. Second is we can help you to find out the passerby and footfall. So most of the technologies out there, they can sort of analyze how many people actually came into their store. But we found out that's actually not enough. Because when you choose a store or when you open a store in a shopping mall or out at the streets, you chose that location probably because of the potential traffic that it can bring you. So what we want to help you analyze is not just how many people walked into your store, but how many traffic are there out there in the shopping mall or out at the street, because the walk-in rate is very important for your store location choices. The Third one is the effectiveness of the storefront display. We can help you by analyzing the whole heat map of your whole store, because you have visual merchandising, you display your fashion products to try to attract people. But are they really effective? Is we can measure that through a heat map. So the heat map not just tell you how many people stayed there, how long it is. It also compare with other regions of the store so that you know which are the hot zones, which are the cold zones. And last but not least, the engagement metrics. It also gives you a brief overview of what products actually attract clients to stay there. Imagine if a lot of traffic passed by a certain shelf, but nobody actually stopped and looked at your products, then that means there's not high engagement. So what we want to do is we want to help you identify the best product or best seller or most attractive products by using our engagement metrics so that you can cross over that with your POS data, and you'll know which are the products that actually attracts people and is also the best seller at the same time. So for a more detailed study of each of our cases, one of the things I mentioned is the walk-in rate. So we have one client that they have a store in a prime location shopping mall. So they think they have a really high footfall because the mall is having huge traffic, and they saw that store having roughly 50% more footfall than their other stores. But what they find out is the walk-in rate of that store is actually pretty low. It's even lower than their other best performing stores. The reason behind is because overall there are so much traffic that the mall brings in, but the walk-in rate is actually quite low, which means their store in that shopping mall could be, it's just a hypothesis and it's a possibility that the shopping mall is not bringing the right customers to their stores. So let's say if the shopping mall usually attracts, say, teenagers or kids or family groups, but in return, the store itself targets mature adults or luxury retail, then there might be a mismatch in the store nature as well as the shopping mall nature. So this could be found out through using our data, and it's very easy to pinpoint if the trend is going on like this. Second is engagement, where as the VM here shows, we can tell how many people actually engaged or interacted with the products or displays that you've put in your store. So this helps you to identify, we have a certain two-dimension analysis on how well your products are performing. So first of all, we look at how many people actually engage with your products. And then the second part, we also help you to understand your POS if there are any people buying that specific products. So it turns into 4 grids that there will be a bestseller and also attracting most people, while on the other end, there's no one's buying that product and it actually attracts no one. So these two are fairly simple. But the 2 other grids are very interesting. Is there could be regions that not many people are engaging with that product, but in return, it's actually the bestseller. This is very interesting because now you know that the product is probably in the wrong placement because it's actually best-selling. Whoever goes there buys it, but it's just the placement of the product is not in the right place. That's why it has a really low engagement. On the other hand, there might be products that have high engagement rate, like whoever goes there likes a product, looks at the product. But when you check the POS data, there's actually no one buying it. So there could be a problem that either this product is placed in the wrong area, or the product itself is very attractive to people, but nobody is paying for it. So just by looking at the engagement metrics and your POS data, just by 2 data, we can already come up with a lot of in-depth analysis on each of your products. Okay, so demographics, I think this is very easy to understand. Just shopper groups. So everyone, each business, they will have their shopper groups, they will have their target groups. And what we can tell you is which demographics group, say teenage, female, if they are attracted to a certain shelf, we can give that data to you, and we can give an overview of each of the shelves, each corner of your store, which demographics is staying there the most, and how is their path taken. So with all these data, you can easily analyze which are your target groups and how are they performing or how are they behaving inside your store or inside your premises. And you can also, in return, to actually check out if are there any target groups, like let's say if you're actually targeting male mature luxury fashion. Turns out there is actually a very tendency of younger males attracted to your products. We can help you discover this new trend as well by just using our demographics data. Okay, so after all, we have several different scenarios that could apply our technology, not just in fashion retail, but actually any kinds of retail stores. And as I mentioned earlier from the start, we're also helping different shopping malls to expand their understanding in terms of their operation efficiencies, as well as how to increase their revenue by just utilizing the spaces, like the retail space or the traffic better. So we are also stepping into the F&B industry because we're also seeing more and more demand and need in this space for them to reduce the queue time and increase their operation efficiency, especially in rush hours. And just as any retail stores, they also have a staff roster, and it's always inefficient. So with our data, we have successfully helped them to reduce queue time by 10 to 15%, and that resulted in 10 to 15% more revenue. So supermarket are also one of our major customers because when you go to shop supermarket, there's always a long queue, except you go there when it's just open or almost closing time. But for the supermarket's customer queue, it's actually a very important insight is that we also found when the queue is longer than 5 minutes, there are actually customers leaving the queue. Like this is a metric that we have proven in a lot of cases, and it turns out to be a very real data, is that 5 minutes is usually the average waiting time that a normal person will take if you're buying something not the most necessary. So after we found out this data with most of our supermarket clients, one of the missions is to reduce the customer queue by limiting it to less than 5 minutes. And our data can help them to keep maintaining it in 90% range, like 90% of the time it won't exceed 5 minutes, by having just one single metric is we send them an alert to help them, to notify them if the queue time is longer than that, we can ask them to open a new counter just to clear out the queue. And this could be applied in anywhere else because the 5 minute metric is actually the same for any kinds of retail, not just supermarket. So, all in all, I think you guys have a better understanding on how retail analytics data can be used. Just to remind you guys, we are actually in a market that has the highest scalability. By using cloud technology, we don't need any kinds of hardware installation, and we provide the most insights for you, as you already understood how much insights or how much use cases that can be utilized with our technology. So I'm not going to go through this. Okay. And the good thing about us, apart from just no physical installation and totally based on cloud, is that we are also fast to deploy, and we can also integrate everything into one dashboard. So if you are a chain store, say fashion retail owner, we can integrate all your stores, not just in one single place, but say if you have one store in Hong Kong, one store in Southeast Asia, we can do that all for you. Like you can look in the same dashboard, but you can know all the data from all your stores around the globe. There is no geographical limitation, and every store can be deployed within 30 minutes. So that's all that I've brought to you today, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hopefully there are new insights that inspired you to utilize your data more. I'm Eugene, CTO and co-founder from Dayta AI. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eugene, for your sharing.